Welcome to Mrs. J's Book Nook. Today I'm reading Phoebe and the Hot Water Bottles by Furchgott and Linda Dawson. As you can see by the condition of the book, this is a very old book and the original, just like my caps for sale that you can find on my channel as well. Copyright 1977 by Furchgott and Linda Dawson and first published 1977 by Andre Deutsch Limited. Phoebe and the Hot Water Bottles. Once there was a little girl called Phoebe Beebe. She lived with her father, Mr. Beebe, the chemist, above the chemist shop. Now, Mr. Beebe was a very busy man, and sometimes when Phoebe came home from school or on Saturdays, she offered to help him with the housework or in the shop. But he always said to her, "Oh, no, thank you, Phoebe. You'd be sure to burn the beans." Or, "That's very nice of you, Phoebe, but you might give the wrong change to someone or put things in the wrong places. Now run away and play, and I'll be up soon to give you your tea." You can see them sitting up there on the balcony above the chemist shop. Even though she couldn't help in the shop, Phoebe loved to look at all the things on the shelves and the counter. There were toothbrushes and toothpastes, soaps of different shapes and sizes, all kinds of wonderful perfumes to smell, lipsticks, powders and mirrors, bottles full of beautifully coloured medicines and ointments, and hot water bottles. Phoebe knew a lot about hot water bottles. Because ever since she could remember, her father had given her one for Christmas, on her birthday, and every time she had been extra specially good. By the time she was 7, Phoebe Beebe had 157 hot water bottles. Have a look at them all. She took them for walks. She gave them baths. And nursed them when they were ill. She had tea parties for them. And occasionally treated them to the pantomime. She took them to the zoo. There she is. And taught them how to swim. And made sure they had a good education. When Phoebe went to bed at night, she was the warmest little girl in the world. Her very favourite hot water bottle was one shaped like a puppy. It even had ears she could wiggle, because deep down what Phoebe wanted more than anything else in the world was a real live puppy. Hot water bottles may be very useful and even fun, but they can never run in the park with you or lick your nose, and no matter how much you love them, they can never love you back. Phoebe had asked her father for a puppy several times, but he always said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Phoebe. You're simply too young to look after it, and I'm too busy to help you. Now go and play with your toys, and we'll see about it when you're older." Being a bit absent-minded, Mr. Beebe never remembered that all Phoebe had to play with were hot water bottles. Because he often looked tired and she didn't like to worry him or hurt his feelings by asking for the kind of presents that other children got. So Phoebe kept on wishing for a puppy every time she saw a new moon or a shooting star or got the large half of the wishbone. And on those special present-giving days, she wished extra hard. But every time her father thought to himself, I know just what Phoebe would like, and gave her another hot water bottle. One night, Mr. BBB went out to deliver some medicine. Phoebe was peeping through her bedroom curtains, waiting for him to come back, when she felt her nose twitching. She sniffed once, and then again. Oh, something was burning. Phoebe jumped out of bed and, not even stopping to put on her slippers, ran out of her room to the top of the stairs. Looking down, she saw flames and smoke. The shop was on fire. She turned to call her father, but then remembered he was not there. Phoebe realised she would have to put out the fire by herself. Dashing back to her room, she grabbed her hot water bottles, all 158 of them, and lugged them out to the landing and down the stairs. One by one, she emptied them onto the flames until the fire was out. Just then, Mr. BBB came back. Seeing the shop in such a state, he was very frightened and rushed up to Phoebe to make sure she was all right. Then they sat down and she told him what had happened. He was absolutely delighted with her. "Oh, you've saved our home and the chemist shop," he said proudly. "I can see now that you really are old enough to take care of things by yourself. Even though it's not your birthday, I think you deserve a present." "Would you like a goldfish?" he asked. Phoebe shook her head. "No." "Would you like a kitten?" Phoebe shook her head again. "No." He glanced at the floor. "Oh, you don't want another hot water bottle, do you?" Phoebe shook her head really hard. "No, no, no." Mr. BBB looked at her with a twinkle in his eye. "Would you by any chance like a puppy?" "Oh, yes, please," cried Phoebe. "That's what I would really love." And the very next day, when Phoebe came home from school, there on the floor in her room was a basket. And inside the basket was the most beautiful puppy you could ever imagine.